So this is question 6 of chapter 9 in our physics textbook. This problem basically states that if we have a corked champagne bottle and we were to launch the cork from the bottle, the question asks what would be the speed of the recoil of the bottle. And so it gives us a couple values here. We know that the mass of the bottle is 1.8 kilograms. The mass of the cork is 0.0075 kilograms, and the velocity is 20 meters per second. The mass of the cork was derived from taking the mass in grams provided and converting it to kilograms. But basically how we would approach this problem is we know that using the conservation of momentum, that the initial momentum is equal to the final momentum after the cork has been launched and the recoil of the bottle. So we can use this simple equation, mh times vh equals mb times vb, basically stating that the mass times the velocity of the bottle should equal the mass times the velocity of the cork, because the momentum stays consistent throughout the whole process. So once we have this formula, we just enter in the values that we have. So for the bottle, we have 1.8 kilograms, and we don't know the speed of the bottle, but we also have the mass of the cork and the speed the cork is traveling. And then at this point, you solve for the velocity of the bottle traveling after the cork has been launched. And so what we do is we times these together, and you get 0.15 kilograms times meters per second equals the velocity of the bottle times by the mass of the bottle. And then to get velocity by itself, we divide the mass on this side of the bottle, divide that mass over here, which will cancel out the kilograms, which will also cancel out the mass on this side, leaving the velocity of the bottle, which will be 0.0833 meters per second. Now the second part of this question asks, if the bottle is traveling at this speed in the opposite direction of the cork, are we likely to feel the recoil? And although we don't have much to go off of, because this question is pretty vague in what its definition of like what someone could actually feel, we can assume that based off of the small value, the recoil, the force of the recoil is most likely negligible to a human who can observe that force. So the answer to that second part is most likely not, although there is a lot of discrepancy in what that question can entail.